Siddhis and light-speed perception, yogic physics explained. What if perception didn't have to wait for light to arrive? What if awareness could move faster than photons, faster than thought, faster than time? In the ancient yogic tradition, there are powers called siddhis. They are not fantasies, but refined expressions of consciousness, abilities that awaken when the mind becomes perfectly still. Among these is a rare state of perception where the practitioner is no longer limited by distance or delay. It is as if awareness arrives before light, and in a way, it does. Today we explore what this means, how it was described, and why it may be closer to science than most people think. Section 1. What are siddhis? In classical yoga, siddhis are inner abilities that arise naturally through deep concentration, meditation, and absorption. They include things like expanding awareness beyond space, sensing across time, knowing something before it happens, perceiving without the use of the physical senses. These are not external superpowers. They are refinements of perception. They show that awareness does not need to travel because it is already present everywhere. These experiences point toward a truth. Consciousness is not subject to the speed of light. It does not move. It simply reveals. Section 2. What does it mean to perceive faster than light? Let's begin by asking what limits normal perception. For most people, perception depends on sensory input, light hitting the eyes, sound entering the ears, nerve signals reaching the brain. This creates delay. But in deep meditation, something unusual happens. Awareness begins to disconnect from the physical senses. It no longer waits for signals. It simply knows. This is not imagination. It's the result of sustained inner stillness. Advanced practitioners often report knowing something before it is spoken, seeing distant events without effort, experiencing time in a non-linear way, witnessing thoughts and sensations before they fully form. This is sometimes called light-speed perception. But really, it is beyond light, because light must travel, but consciousness is already there. Section 3. Ancient descriptions of this perception. In the classical texts on meditation and awareness, there are specific references to these abilities. For example, the ability to perceive things happening at a distance, the ability to see inside the body or into hidden places, the ability to experience time as a single field, not a sequence, the ability to receive knowledge without study, instantly. These are not described as goals, but as side effects of deep concentration and total inner silence. They only arise when the personal ego dissolves and awareness becomes clear and boundless. The point is not to chase them, but to understand what they reveal. Your awareness is not bound by the rules of matter. Section 4. Is this supported by modern science? While modern physics cannot directly measure spiritual states, it does offer clues. In neuroscience, advanced meditators show unusual brain activity, high-frequency waves associated with instant integration, strong coherence between brain regions, moments where perception and reaction are nearly simultaneous. And in quantum theory, some interpretations suggest that the act of observation itself affects reality faster than light could travel. While science uses different terms, the conclusion is not far off. There may be ways of perceiving that do not rely on light, matter, or linear time. They rely on stillness. Section 5. What actually happens during light-speed perception? In deep inner stillness, the mind becomes so quiet that it no longer creates delay. You do not think about what you see. You see directly, without commentary, without judgment, without comparison. This kind of perception feels instantaneous, radiant, all-encompassing, timeless. It does not feel like thinking fast. It feels like no thinking at all. There is no subject and object, only presence. And in that presence, you know what is needed to be known, without effort. Section 6. Why this perception matters. So why speak of these states at all? Because they point to a deeper truth. Your nature is not limited by the body. Your awareness is not trapped inside your head. You are already connected to everything, not by speed, but by stillness. When the mind becomes perfectly clear, the illusion of distance collapses. So does the illusion of time. This is what the yogic sages were pointing to. This is why they sat in silence for hours, not to escape life, but to enter it more fully. From that stillness, a perception arises that is faster than light because it is prior to light. Final reflection. You don't need to chase siddhis. You don't need to bend reality. You simply need to sit, breathe, and become deeply quiet. As that silence deepens, you may notice things shifting. You may know without thinking. You may feel without delay. You may see without light. And in that seeing, you will understand what the ancient teachings always said. You are not the one moving through time. You are the presence in which time appears, and that presence moves faster than anything, because it does not move at all.